National emergency declared at our southern border.
24 hours into Donald Trump's second presidency, and he's already following through on his campaign promise to crack down on the flow of migrants crossing over the border.
One of the first orders includes deploying U.S. troops to the border. Fox 10's Kenzie Beach is there. She joins us live from Nogales. What have you seen there today?
Yeah, well, John, Christina, the Nogales port of entry is right behind me. In terms of changes we've seen today, that executive order has a lot of things in it, a lot of things to break down, which we'll get to. But no U.S. troops here yet today. You're seeing that line behind me, people looking to make their way from Arizona into Mexico. That hill right behind me, that is Mexico. You can see along that border wall going from east to west. But no U.S. troops deployed here, no changes on the Arizona side. As for the other side of the border, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection One app was completely shut down yesterday, limiting people's access into Arizona. We spoke with the Nogales mayor. He fears this executive order could have very large implications for residents here in Nogales. Trump's executive order plans to end birthright citizenship and catch and release, reinstate the Remain in Mexico policy, designate cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and end the CBP One app. Cochise County Sheriff Mark Daniels says the executive order frees up funding, which means more manpower for border towns and local law enforcement.
It makes it manageable. It adds resources, technology, personnel, infrastructure, all the things we need to do to secure the border, to secure our country, but also brings engagement back to these communities.
Residents in Arizona border town Nogales fear the new order could do more damage than good.
People come and go, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars here, and he forgets that. The same way we go over and we spend our money over there. We need each other, and there isn't any animosity here between the border.
Open up at least a few more parts of the border for us just to get to where we have to go, because I have to drop off my kids at 6 o'clock in the morning just so they could cross to come to school.
Daniels says Arizona leads the nation in the amount of fentanyl seized at our border.
About 52% plus of all the fentanyl seized in Arizona, primarily on your 4 border counties here. Again, we have to recognize the evil that the cartels are pushing into our country, the poison.
On the other hand, Nogales Mayor Jorge Maldonado questions where migrants will be detained before being deported and fears it could fall on small cities like Nogales.
And what's going to happen if Mexico does not receive all types of migrants, or meaning all nationalities, not just people from Mexico? Don't want them to just throw me all citizens or all nationalities to our city.
So border towns are in a little bit of a limbo right now. When we spoke with the Nogales mayor, Mayor Maldonado, he was actually on his way to a very big meeting. He could not give us much information about that, but it was a lot of local law enforcement, Border Patrol, U.S. Customs and Border Protection was going to be there, as well as sheriffs and mayors of the bordering counties here between Arizona and Mexico. He said the priority of that meeting was making sure that they were just all on the same page, but he says they have not heard anything from the state or federal level yet in terms of changes at the border, but they expect them to be coming, so they just all want to be on the same page. Live in Nogales, Kenzie Beach, Fox 10 News.
During the election, President Trump made immigration and border security one of his top priorities, and now that he is in office, he is making good on a lot of those promises by signing a slew of executive orders, all related to immigration. That includes issuing a national emergency at the border. Now, the state of emergency would allow the Defense Department to deploy the military and National Guard to the border. How many troops are still yet to be seen, and to what border states those troops could be sent to also remains to be seen. In fact, a lot of these executive orders are still in kind of a wait-and-see moment. I was in contact with someone with the Border Patrol who said a lot of this is still, quote, up in the air. President Trump will also make good on beginning of mass deportation. So what could that mean here in Yuma County? We spoke to John Beltz. He's the president of the Arizona Farm Bureau. He says that more than likely it wouldn't be an issue for them. Take a listen.
Yuma County would be impacted almost not at all. We have a legal workforce here. We're very fortunate to have that. Not all of the United States agriculture enjoys that, but here harvesting 70, 80, 90% of the winter leafy greens that's consumed in the U.S. and Canada coming out of Yuma are produced right here. But we lose market share on that every year. We could produce more in Yuma County, but more is imported from Mexico every year because folks can't immigrate into this country or they can't get a work visa to work here.
Now, we should mention that border crossings are down right now significantly. According to the U.S. Customs Border Protection figures, in the last 6 months, apprehensions decreased by more than 70%. That is due to an executive order by President Joe Biden last summer and the Mexican National Guard cracking down on migrants heading into the United States. But again, a lot of these executive orders are still in their infancy, so it's still yet to be determined on how this will all work out. Reporting from the southern border, Brennan, Fox 10 News.